My father was a history professor, so I grew up going to all these famous sites like Troy and Mycenae, and he would stand me there and say, "What do you see? What do you think?" You know, and he wouldn't tell me what to think. He would ask me what I thought, which I think is a really great way of teaching a kid. My name is Constance Adams. I'm a space architect. I love architecture because it involves thinking about everything like a 250-mile view, looking at the whole planet, in fact, looking beyond the Earth. What we're doing in terms of our capability of leaving the planet is hugely important. In the historical record, it's an enormous thing. I love doing it. Plus, it's really hard, which is great. It makes it fun to solve the puzzle. My work is helping people to maybe colonize more than one planet. It's certainly in learning how to live in a closed-loop system, like even just the space station on orbit. We are, in fact, learning what kinds of materials are and are not good for use on Earth. One of the biggest problems that we face is a big planet, so we don't really see the impact. When we're sitting here or in our home, we don't see the Great Pacific plastic islands, you know. We don't see the places where things are, where the coral reefs are bleaching out. And we don't really feel the relationship between something we've personally done and what's going wrong. But designing for a space station, you know, it's like a whole planet that's just the size of a couple of rooms. And so if we have one thing going on that doesn't work with the rest of the system and is not compatible with life as we know it, well, we learn that pretty quickly. So it's an opportunity not just to position humankind for a greater reality, but also to help us learn to live better with our own planet, our mothership. Just imagine if you made everyone dispose of their own trash on their own property for 6 weeks, right? Not like, you know, take their own trash to the dump, but deal with their own trash. It would dramatically change their shopping habits. It would change their approach to everything that they bring in. So imagine that your home is a closed loop system. You start thinking about everything a little bit differently. What gives me hope is when kids that I work with say something so smart about how we need to do things differently or better, or why do they do things this way? And I think, yes, exactly. It's not like, you know, space architecture famous or anything, but every now and then, you know, someone will say, "Oh, yes, I'll get an article or a thesis that somebody's writing or a project that they're working on," and say, "Oh, you inspired me so much with your paper about this or your talk about that." And I think, you know, wow, that's really great. I mean, anyone who can inspire someone else to explore new ideas, that's really something to be proud of.